Let's talk about some more underrated Sopranos characters. Angie Bumbo.
It starts in an hour.
She took all that negative shit he gave her and spun it into gold.
And I am so grateful. It covers the basics, but anything extra, there's no way, Carmilla.
You know, Ange, driving over here, I was thinking about how I was going to handle this. Been working on my anger lately, so I figured it'd be good if I could just quietly say, any kind of problem you got, financial or otherwise, you come directly to me. Please. Then I saw the Cadillac. The money I give you. You're driving a Cadillac and you're looking for more?
After that, we see her handing out free Polish sausage at the supermarket. Angie was doing what she had to do here. Eventually, Tony ends up letting her run the body shop.
Is that a Porsche?
Had my eye on it for months. The gift from Tony.
I thought about a Boxster, but I don't know. The vet felt more like me.
You bought that yourself?
The accountant says I'm better off owning it outright.
She's really taken a big step forward. We see how vulnerable in season 2. I mean, she literally tells the women at the table that she's thought of killing herself.
To just come and go year after year like that. How dare he? I thought our goal was to raise money. I say we get them lick it up, let them tear each other's throats out.
Well,
it's just an idea. Anyhow, put me down for $2,000 worth of body work and or paint.
2,000, model an inch.
Jenny Sack.
John? John, your coat. Is that the Burberry? Oh my God, what happened?
Nothing. I tripped.
So here on one hand, we have Angie Bumbo. Very vulnerable, very dependent, makes a seemingly complete transformation. Now with Ginny, she also remains blissfully ignorant about what her husband does. She knows obviously that he's an organized crime, but she doesn't really care to know the details. Angie, she also knows that her husband's an organized crime, but the difference with her, she can't remain blissfully ignorant, or as blissfully ignorant as possible, if she doesn't know anything, including her husband's whereabouts half the time.
I had a few cognacs. Go to sleep.
I put Allegra's graduation picture in a frame for him.
Good. Love you.
I love you too. Hello?
Hello, sweetie. It's your secret admirer. Is he there?
Oh, hi, Ralph. One sec. John! Ralph Cifaretto.
I see the other wives, the way men look at them.
Don't I look at you like that? Haven't I always? Did you hear what my friend said about my wife? Made a crack about Ginny's weight. She's fighting the weight problem since the kids were born. Body image, self-esteem. I'll tell you though, I never had a problem with Ginny's weight. To me, she's beautiful. Rubenesque. That woman is my life. To think she's being mocked.
Of course, I can't say my pain is worse than anybody's. Right here by the bed. Look at me, baby. You want a cigarette, baby?
She stays with John all the way through to the end. Of course, she didn't like that John smoked cigarettes, and she especially didn't like seeing John smoke cigarettes after he was diagnosed with lung cancer. Even still, she just wants to make him happy and comfortable. Murmur.
You all right, Tom?
Yeah, that formaldehyde smell.
You know this guy once, Vietnam vet. He drank formaldehyde over there just to get high.
It's the alcohol. So you have to be here
It ain't just that he helps me with the disease. Hey, this guy's great at forging documents.
Oh, there he is.
Murmur's an interesting name. What's the genesis?
I had a heart murmur when I was a kid.
Murmur is Christopher Moltisanti's first sponsor. But, like Christopher also said, it ain't just that he helps him with the disease. He's also great at forging documents. And he also participates in the credit card frauds, where the credit card police showed up to Artie and Charmaine's restaurant. As with most, if not all, of the characters on The Sopranos, as we see, Murmur also has multiple layers to him. Now, it's interesting because when you think of the general principles of AA or NA, it's about abstinence, not necessarily substituting one addiction or one vice for another. Of course, Murmur doesn't want Christopher using, but as for some other illegal stuff, like, theft, fraud, he's okay with that. So, not necessarily passing judgment, just an interesting observation, and perhaps this is why things didn't work out with Murmur as Christopher's sponsor.
Listen to me. That last run you went on, beginning with the feast, how hard you had to work to get back from that? Civilians, their bosses find out they slipped, they get a plane ticket to Minnesota. Tony will fucking mulch his roses with what's left of you. School's a thought. Two of you together could be enabling. Bad habits shared.
Oh, but watch out for each other. She wouldn't even let me have Red Bull, seriously.
Well, that's the other school. Two are stronger than one.
I know I'm different with her.
Well, I guess we just keep an eye on it.
Neil Mink.
I was thirsty last time I saw you.
Neil Mink is Tony Soprano's attorney.
What are we talking, 8 to 10? For God's sake, Alan, I complete them out of 3 to 5. All right, talk to Mike Gendler. See what he says.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I know I left you someplace.
A very close call at Brush with a murder beef.
I told you. I was home alone.
You and Macaulay Culkin. Except that neither one of you would have been alone.
I beat a homicide, and now I blew an easy one. Dirty to life.
Don't think about that now, Anthony. You'll make bail. There's no capital crimes. Get on with life. Champagne's nice. You want to give me a real gift? Insulate yourself from these shenanigans.
It's Neil who tells Tony in the series finale 80 to 90% chance that he's going to be indicted. I really like Neil's personality. I think he's a good lawyer.
The police pulled over some kid and found a baggie with cocaine residue. They also found a gun loaded with hollow point bullets. Now, in order to beat the rap, this 16-year-old punk claims he saw my client drop that weapon.
Someone who knows how to work effectively.
All right, I hear you. The feds are a business, Anthony. Millions of tax dollars invested in watching your ass. Sooner or later, just like you, they're going to want a return on that investment.
I always think about, if only Adriana had had Neil's number on speed dial.
Well, frankly, were I you, I might actually consider laughing. Or rub a hunchback's hump. Or something.
Harold Melvoin is Junior's attorney, starting in season 1, up through the end of season 5.
The poor guy had a stroke, you believe it? He's younger than me.
Melvoin?
Just like how I mentioned that I think Tony and Neil Mink have great on-screen chemistry as lawyer and client, I feel the same way about Melvoin and Junior.
Corrado, I gotta go. I gotta catch a plane. I'll be back Monday. Feel better.
Make sure Beppy gets my chicken home.
Corrado, you didn't get to the early bird special.
I'd be happy to surrender, Mr. Soprano. You can be assured of my full cooperation.
You'd rather they kicked in your front door in the middle of the night?
Just testing. That's what a good lawyer would do. I'm sick and tired of sitting around on my hands. I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
Down to Boca with your lady friend? Works for the Joint Fitters Union, didn't somebody say? Runs their, labor management fund outside the Fed's oversight.
If you can't get your friends jobs, what's the purpose of attaining success?
The wheels of justice turn slowly. Take her to Florida. Develop a tan.
Where's the key to the partner's crapper?
Top right-hand drawer.
And I've reviewed the findings of the doctors in this matter. Frankly, they were unmoved by Mr. Soprano's performance.
Your Honor, to couch it as a performance. Honor, please. Since his injury, I have not had a single conversation with Mr. Soprano in which we've related on any meaningful level.
This statement from Melvoin here to the judge is a really interesting one because on one hand, you think, okay, he's just saying this because he's trying to get the judge to make a ruling in their favor. But when he says since his injury, he hasn't had any conversation with Junior where he's been able to relate to him on any meaningful level, it makes you wonder, perhaps he's being fully truthful there. And I think it makes Junior stop and think too. It almost seems like he's a little bit taken aback.
Feel free to take that up on appeal.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on more Sopranos characters that I feel are underrated or under-recognized. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned for more.